If you're planning on selling your home in the future, one of the most important things you could do is to set yourself up for a good home inspection. The good news is by the end of this video, you'll know the things that you can prepare for to ensure a smooth home sale, because during these transactions, there's a lot of things that come up on a regular basis, and this video is going to point out those things that you can fix in advance to make sure that it's a smooth transaction for you with the sale of your home. First, let's make sure the big stuff works. Buyers are willing to overlook cosmetic issues on the outside, but what they're really concerned with is the major big issues. So the big five: you have the roof, you have the HVAC, you have the foundation, you have the electrical, and finally, the plumbing. So first, let's take a look at the roof. So if the roof has missing shingles, has areas where they look like they're highly worn, or has areas where they're fully exposed, these are where you can have possible leaks and where more than likely the buyer is going to come in and want to have a separate roof inspection. So you want to have your roof looked at, importantly, day one, because it's very expensive to repair, and that concerns a lot of buyers because it's fundamental in protecting them in their house. Your heating systems, or HVACs, is another big ticket item. So if you haven't had it looked at recently or have it serviced, or when you turn it on it makes funky noises, or the cool air or the hot air isn't distributed equally, this tells you it's something that you need to have this looked at. Sometimes doing this is as easy as a filter change to find out common causes, or if you do pay for repairs on your HVAC, save the receipts to share with the potential buyers to show that you've been proactive in fixing the systems, to let them know that they're buying something that's working perfectly. Next, let's get a clear picture at the windows. The windows in the house are important because some of the windows may be cracked, some of them may be fogged. You also want to look, do they open and close properly? And then, are the cracks up in the corners, are they intact? And finally, there's something called window flashing. Now, we're not talking about the flashing that goes on in like San Francisco or New York. We're talking about window flashings on the bottom. It's important that the window is also fully encased and the drywall is good around there with no moisture damage. People love a clear picture, and a great window gives you a great picture in your new house. Next is plumbing. Plumbing is one of those invisible systems that nobody sees, but it is the foundation of a good working house. So we're going to dive into a couple things you can do and look at to be proactive with home inspections on your plumbing issues. First is the sewage line. So some homes, if they're more than 30 years old, they will have what's called cast iron pipes. Those have an only limited usable lifespan. If they're over 40 years, there's probably something going to go wrong. You're going to replace it. So make sure you do a sewer scope to look and see what you have and get an estimate of the usable life left in those plumbing pipes for your sewer. This is something that is 100% going to show up in a home inspection, the sewer scope. So make sure you get a head start on it and be proactive with knowing what you're getting into so that your escrow doesn't go sideways. Next, with the plumbing, they're going to take a look at water pressure. So the water pressure in your house will range from the faucets to the shower to the toilets. Typically, you don't want to have a PSI rating of more than 70 in your house, and the sweet spot is between 60 and 70. Too low, things don't work right. Too high, and you limit the lifespan of all your appliances and other things in the house. So make sure your home inspector does a PSI test on your water pressure. You'll also want to do a moisture test in your house. So the moisture test is going to relate to underneath your sinks, behind appliances, anything that's essentially attached to water, because where there's moisture in California and heat, there's mold, and we don't want to have that. So make sure your home inspector also does a moisture test in these areas as well to help you out. Your home's electrical is the next big thing, and shocking, a lot of people find out about this in the middle of escrow, when you can do all the preventive work ahead of time to know what's going to happen when the buyer does the home inspection on your house. Let's take a look at some things. First is your breaker board. So a lot of homes that are built a long time ago are going to have the original breaker boards. You're going to want to update to something newer in your home because of the amount of power that you use now for all your appliances, all your internet, everything in your house. You're going to want to take a look at the breaker board to make sure that's functioning properly, and if not, what is the cost to upgrade that breaker board to put it to new standards for your new buyer? Next, let's take a look at your outlets. If you have an older home, it's a good chance that things aren't grounded up to code the way things are done now. So make sure your inspector does a tester on all your outlets to see what's functioning, what's not functioning, and what's grounded and what's not. Because these are other things that you want to fix ahead of time so that you don't have to pay for them later at a premium. Now next, this is going to show up on every single home inspection because it always does. The inspector comes back and goes, no GFI plugs. So make the investment to put the GFI plugs in your house ahead of time. GFI plugs will range typically between $14 and maybe $30. They're not that expensive. They're easy to install. And by doing this ahead of time, it once again shows your buyer that you're proactive, you take care of your house and you care, and you don't get called out like every other person for GFI plugs. And the last thing, which is probably the easiest thing for most people, replace the dead light bulbs. If the light bulbs don't work, put the hard work in to unscrew them and put new ones in so that when the buyers turn on the lights, they actually work. You'd be surprised how many people forget to do this and it's called out later. And the last big ticket's the foundation. So this ties back to if you look at your windows, like we mentioned before, if they have cracks, or they have cracks from the floor going up or from the ceiling going down, you may have foundation issues. Also, if under the concrete you see stains or watermarks from plumbing, that's also a foundation issue. And one of the final ways that we like to do, the easy way of just testing it, do the marble test. Get a couple marbles, put them on the ground, see where they roll or see if they stay flat. Because the foundation is the foundation of the house and you want to make sure that's solid as well. Those were our big ticket items, but here's other things that show up on home inspection reports I see all the time. It's clean, safe, and smells good. So what do I mean by that? It means before you do your home inspection, make sure your entire house is very clean. Because believe it or not, we get a lot of things on reports for smells. Now, whether these smells could be mold from leaky areas and moisture, whether they're pet stains, or whether they're just damp and dusty where nothing's been cleaned, buyers notice this and it sets off red flags for them right away that you haven't taken care of your house. Those things might sound dumb to you, but they show up on home inspections on a regular, and you don't want to give more ammunition to the buyer to ask for price reductions for you because of simple things you could have fixed day one. Now, in the home sale, not all the appliances always convey, but a lot of times they do. So let's take a look at different things that could affect the home inspection with your appliances and fixtures. Number one, the water heater. Is the water heater installed correctly? What's the date on the water heater? Does it have water heater straps? Does it have the pan in the bottom? And does it have sufficient foundation to hold it up? Your refrigerator. Does your refrigerator leak or have coils in the back that are possibly leaking moisture? That's something else you want to check. And finally, your garbage disposal. A lot of homes have garbage disposals without the P-traps done correctly. Make sure you check underneath the sink the garbage disposal that's functioning properly, because that'll help you as well. And finally, the stove. Do all the burners work correctly? Does the oven work correctly? Because these things are going to be tested, because if they're linked to gas lines, that could be a problem. If they're electrical, that could go to your breaker board problem that we spoke about before. So make sure this is tested too. Next, let's go over some small repairs that aren't going to wreck your transaction, but that buyers notice because attention to detail shows whether you as a homeowner have taken care of your house or neglected it. Do all the kitchen cabinets and drawers open smoothly? Are they broken? If you have railings in your house, are they sturdy? Are they reinforced? If you have tile, if you have grout around your house, is it broken, chipped, missing? This also shows attention to detail. Take the time to fix these little things. Lastly, if you have any sort of faucets or anything that is not properly tightened, just tighten it. Remember, attention to detail is key, and people are spending money to buy your house, and they want to see that you had pride of ownership in taking care of your house that they're going to buy. Outside your house matters as well. Start with a termite inspection. Almost all houses in California have termites, but start with a termite inspection just so that you know what you're in for ahead of time and if potential repairs will be needed. Next, take a look in your attic. Is your attic hopefully not filled with rats or other sorts of interesting things? Did you take care of the insulation? Is it clean? Is the wiring clean? Does everything look very nice? Take a look at that as well. Do you have rain gutters on your house? Are the rain gutters filled with crap or leaves and not functioning properly? Something else you want to take a look at. And finally, your fence lines and your garage door. If you have fences around your property, are the fences intact? Are they stable? Are they working, or are they falling down? In your garage door. Sounds simple, but does the garage door opener, does the garage door work properly, and does it close properly? Because buyers will always notice this as well. All these attention to details will make a bigger impact on the potential buyers of your house. So if you do all these things prior to your home inspection, not only is it going to help you have a smoother closing, attract better buyers, and have less negotiations, it's going to net you more money and less stress in the long run. And then as a side note, if you want to know what repairs not to do, what upgrades not to do to decrease your ROI, watch my previous video. I go over all those as well so you don't waste money on useless upgrades. So selling your home doesn't have to be a nightmare. If you follow this checklist for all the inspections ahead of time, it'll help you have a much easier sale of your home, less stress, more money, better outcome. If you want a list of all these different tips and things we had, just comment below. I'll send you the list. Otherwise, we appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe and look for more videos to come. And thanks again for the support.